So we are at EY in London Bridge. We are doing a work experience as part of the Executive Challenge over 2 days. We have 16 girls who have already passed through some of the programme and are now coming together to do the work experience.
I found the experience of speaking from executive to now really interesting because I was able to connect with somebody that I normally wouldn't, and it was great to listen to their experiences and what advice they had to give me, and now I get to see what kind of world they live in.
I started this programme in 2020, which was like in the thick of COVID, and one of the big things that I really wanted to do and accomplish was the work experience. So it's great that we've actually been able to bring them together. It's great that after a time where everyone's kind of by themselves and in their own space, we can bring them together and kind of experience this as a group.
A moment that stood out to me the most during the process was right before we had to present our presentations, because it felt like the whole team kind of came together, and just the fact that we were able to just throw all of our ideas out onto a whiteboard and then kind of filter it down and figure out what works for us and how we could make it work, I think definitely stood out for me.
For me to support the Executive Challenge was important because I recognise that what we do in the market is not going to change, but the people around the table that need to be part of that do need to change. So for me, the Executive Challenge was personal from a perspective of the future, but also something that's critically important for us to ensure that we support economies and governments all around the world.
So the most rewarding part really for me was watching the girls develop over the last couple of days. So seeing them come in a little bit apprehensive, a little bit nervous, but watching their skill set really develop, them sort of blooming confidence over the last couple of days.
Something that's really unique about this opportunity is being able to go and experience, working life almost. You get to go and see the offices and where people are working, and also, how they interact with each other even. I think that's something I'd want to share with anyone that will listen. I think it's very important as girls to not feel intimidated by being, thrown into working life and feeling, less than. And I think this is really great for building up confidence.
Yeah, I've really enjoyed learning new things. We learned about design thinking, we learned about anchor bias, and I felt like coming here, it's not just, working and doing stuff for the company, but also learning more things that you can take away and use in the future, maybe at a workplace or at university.
I found the last 2 days great. I think we are very proud to be a sponsor of the Women's Association Executive Challenge. I think what I've really enjoyed is being able to provide a bit of an insight to these very talented young women and give them a little sneak peek into our global world of professional services. But also I've really loved to hear their ideas and their insights and their opinions, which are quite different to me as the older generation. And this is at the end of the day the next generation of talent.
EY being such a huge company, I was worried, you're meeting all these people who've done so much and you're young, so I was worried about how I'd be seen, but it's great, and these people actually like their jobs and they're really interested in what you have to say.
I think what I learnt most about myself, I think I was very much challenged in terms of the element of team working, being able to work with a team and share my ideas in a way for us to get the best result. I think some of the topics regarding the challenge that I was given were out of my comfort zone, so I was challenged to kind of see how do I push through that, how do I be perseverant, and how do I give my best advice and best into the team to create a great finished product for our presentation.
I don't get a lot of opportunities like this presented to me at school. We had the coaches that were helping us for our assignment, and we weren't sort of just left on our own to do, because I've done previous work experiences where you just get given an assignment and you have to do it and present it to people at the end of the work experience, and then you get given feedback at the end. But it's like they've been helping us throughout the actual task.
I encourage other girls to get involved in things like this. I think it's where we can see ourselves represented. I think being around a group of girls similar to me, with similar backgrounds, similar interests, that are going along similar paths, that want to learn and have insights to certain careers, I think that's very important.
I want to make sure that all organisations take a chance in having a program like this to share what their business is like and more importantly, ensure that that generation has an option, and we would all be incredibly lucky if any of these girls came and worked for us in the future.
If I was to pick one word to sum up the experience of the last 2 days, for me, it would be educational.
Engaging.
Joyful.
Passionate.
It would be fun.
It's insightful.
Welcoming.
Rewarding.
I'm just lucky to be here.